Let's ask Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Mayor, welcome back.
Oh, how are you, Brian? Nice to talk to you.
Great. I saw you with Sean last night, and I know that you've been friends with Donald Trump. You thought about it. You endorsed Donald Trump, but you said you needed changes to his organization before you start working and stumping for him. Have you seen enough change?
I'm starting to see the changes that I wanted. Starting about 2 weeks ago, he brought in a kind of professional. A professional staff that understands the convention process, because he was being beaten by small ball. You know, he was hitting home runs for runs, and they were playing small ball and catching up on him. And I think bringing in Manafort, 3 or 4 other people, he's kind of stopped that bleeding. And he's also adopted, as you can see, a very different tone, which is a Donald Trump I know. I mean, Donald, as you know, because you know him personally, when you talk to him on a personal basis, is very reasonable, very sensible, none of that name calling stuff, and I'm really starting to see that, and I do believe he's going to be the nominee. I believe that for some time, and I think he's going to be the nominee of the party. And I'm a Republican, and I definitely do not want Hillary Clinton in the White House. And I also think by remaining somewhat distant from the campaign, but his friend, I can play a more objective role with some of my good Republican friends who I'm very close to, but who seem to want to play this, never Trump, nothing but Trump. I think I'm persuading a few of them to come along.
That's interesting because you're very strong. You're very strong, unscripted on the stage for anybody, whether it's for the message on your book on leadership about your career or about endorsing somebody. But you still are somewhat hesitant, it seems, to say, meet you in Pennsylvania. I'll help you out in Delaware. When it comes to California, I'll start plowing the ground for you. What would it take, Mr. Mayor, for you to do that? What else do you need to see?
I think we need to see a campaign group of advisors around Donald, who are top national security, top domestic security advisors, who are giving him the in-depth knowledge that not only is he going to need in dealing with Hillary, but in being president of the United States. I think that's the last step and the most important step that's necessary. I also think by being somewhat objective about the 3 or 4 things that have these people who won't endorse him refusing to endorse him, I think I can play a better role in kind of moving them along, because I can see their point. I can see why someone like a John McCain or a Lindsey Graham might be hesitant to support Donald, but it's my desire to try to bring them along. My desire to try to get them to face the. We have to get them. I interrupted a meeting I'm having with someone like that right now. We've got to get them to face the reality. Look, let's stop kidding around. It's going to be Donald against Hillary, and do we want 4 years of Hillary? So let that sink in, and then let's get behind Donald and get all this fighting over with. If it were anyone else but Donald Trump, right now he'd be crowned as the candidate, and we would be beginning the organizing process of Cruz and Kasich supporting him. It's only because of this, I guess we call it establishment Republican resistance to him, that they're still trying to play this game of undermining him. I mean, last night's victory was so big, and not only was it big, it's cross-sectional. He demonstrated something most Republicans can't do, winning New York and winning Mississippi. You just don't get a candidate that can win both.
Yeah, the South loves the guy from the Northeast.
Yeah, which is amazing. I mean, he beat Cruz in the South. And Cruz's appeal is very narrow. There's no question he has a better chance of beating Hillary. And mathematically, he's way ahead, way ahead. And this would be the point at which, you know, a McCain or a Romney or somebody more acceptable to the establishment would be crowned as the
Right.
as the nominee of the party, and we'd stop all the fighting, and we'd get together, and we'd start concentrating on what is, I think, more crucial than ever to America, which is to make sure that we have a Republican president, so that we lower taxes and we do all the things that have to be done.
Rudy, I got a couple of things here. You know, in Mike Allen's playbook, they write today that the whisper conversations about the not getting the 1237 number but getting close, the Republicans are beginning to come to the realization that they're going to give it to him anyway, that they have to give it to him if he's close. A great tactic Donald Trump has marshaled is to look at the process, force everyone to look at the process and see how uneven it is. He says corrupt and it's rigged, but see how much he's winning by, and how dare you take it away from me and expect to have a party afterwards. So I think people come to the realization he's going to break at least 1,000, and no one else is going to be close, and Republicans are starting to understand that. And being that he seems to have changed his tone from this.
Little Marco helped me a lot. Lion Ted. I call him Lion Ted. Lion Ted.
And don't forget,
Jeb Bush is a low energy person. He's very low energy.
And then you take last night, listen to him last night about Senator Ted Cruz.
We are going to be so strong again. We are going to be really, I mean, legitimately so great again. And I just can't wait. So we don't have much of a race anymore based on what I'm seeing on television. Senator Cruz is just about mathematically eliminated.
And he went on to say Governor Kasich. That seems to be the Manafort touch. And he also is showing that he's coachable, even though he's 69 years old and a billionaire.
Yeah, no question about all of that. Here's what's needed. I've been through a lot of campaigns. Everybody's angry, right? Remember, George Bush the first, George H.W. Bush, called Ronald Reagan, you know, voodoo economics, called him all kinds of names, and then Reagan put him on the ticket, and they became good friends. Probably one of the better president-vice president combinations in terms of personal relationship, and I worked in that administration, that we ever had. And that's what's necessary. A little time is necessary, meaning everybody's got to lick their wounds a little bit and start focusing on reality. And I think we can do that over the next 3-4 days, maybe over the next week. And that's what I'm.
Right.
At least that's in my small way. That's what I'm trying to do with the people that I have some influence with.
I have a few more minutes, and I know you are, and you do it in a very candid way, and you're willing to talk about it, which makes great television and great life. Your life is consequential in both ways, in front of the camera, on the microphone, and behind the scenes. I got two more topics for you. Number one, Ed Henry on our show this morning said that the word inside the Hillary Clinton camp is we're going to attack Donald Trump the same way we were about to attack Mayor Rudy Giuliani when he was thinking about running for Senator of New York. They said you're a bully, you're a tough guy, you like to call people out, and they were going to use that same attack plan that they were going to take you out against Donald Trump. Is that an effective assessment strategy?
Well, I'm sure they're going to do that, and it's not going to work because that attack has already been used on Donald Trump, and it hasn't worked. And, you know, I didn't get to run because I got prostate cancer. It wouldn't have worked against me because it was the same attack they used against me when I ran for mayor and I won by re-election by 18%.
Gotcha.
So let them try it. Let them do it. And I think it'll just, you know. Yeah, I mean, those attacks have been used on Donald. Everybody knows that he's tough. Everybody knows that he's
personal.
Sometimes prone to a personal comment. They've already discounted that. I think Hillary's got a bigger problem in explaining how someone who reveals national security secrets should be president of the United States.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and let's talk about those national security secrets. 9/11 families are suing the Saudi government, but they can't because there's a law since 76 on the books that a group cannot sue another sovereign government. So there's a bipartisan push in the Senate, hopefully to pass the House from their perspective, from Schumer and Cornyn, to allow these 9/11 families to sue the Saudis. Are you for that legislation going through?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything has to come out about 9/11. Look, personally, I wish I could join that lawsuit. I'm not sure I have standing, but I lost some very close personal friends on September 11th, as well as I consider everybody I lost now on September 11th my close personal friend. I was the mayor of New York at the time, and we should know the truth about it. But just think of how reckless she was with the handling of our national security information on this private server that was sitting in a house somewhere. And we want this for President of the United States. And whether it's a crime or not, and I believe it is, it certainly demonstrates total, arrogant, reckless disregard for the handling of the national security of the United States. And if they're going to start making personal attacks, I mean, my gosh, the personal attacks you could make on the Clintons are legendary.
Yeah. And finally, the 28 pages. Have you read them? And should we all read them?
I have not. No. I don't have that high level of clearance to be able to read them. I mean, very very few people have read them. But I sure as heck would like to read them, since I almost got killed that day. I'd like to know who was behind trying to kill me and succeeding in killing almost 3,000 of my citizens.
Gotcha. Mr. Mayor, always great to have you on. I look forward to seeing what your decision is about supporting Donald Trump, besides voting for him.
Oh, no, I support Donald Trump.
No, but getting on the stump. But getting on the stump.
You're going to see that happen, too. That's all in good time.
Great.
Mayor, that's all going to happen.
I look forward to seeing you soon, because I know you also have the Yankees to follow, so you're definitely torn. Mayor Rudy Giuliani, thanks so much.
Love you.